Good evening. Welcome to M1's English Language News, Hungary Reports. I'm Híradó with today's news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Let's get started. The interest of the international community would be to prevent anonymous money transfers in the banking system, since they can easily be used to finance terrorism. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade said in New York in his speech at the UN against prohibited money transfers. Péter Szijjártó explained that the European Commission and the UN have launched a program that gives immigrants anonymous debit cards. The minister added that the case of a terrorist caught in Hungary proves that anonymous transfers help illegal migration and terrorism.
A név nélküli
Anonymous transfers assist illegal immigration, and anonymous transfers help finance terrorism. For that reason, all anonymous money transfers in the banking system should be made impossible globally. And the European Commission and the UN's High Commissioner for Refugees must immediately stop handing out anonymous debit cards and transferring money to them. They have to make the accounting public, show how much money they transfer to these accounts, whether we know who received the money, and how much of EU taxpayers' money could have been spent on financing terrorism. Every European citizen has the right to know that.
The Family Protection Action Plan's 5 promised points for this year will enter into effect on July 1st. Gergely Gulyás announced at the government press conference. Concerning the government's ongoing dispute with Brussels over the introduction of prenatal subsidies, the head of the Prime Minister's office said that the government had sought Brussels' approval for the prenatal subsidy, but the European Commission bureaucracy warned that the scheme could be considered illicit state financing. Gergely Gulyás added that since then, the government received a verbal guarantee from the European Commission that it would not take legal action against Hungary over the subsidy.
We think that this is right, because if the risk of prohibited state funding didn't come up as an issue regarding the migrant debit cards, then it would be great if the family support programs like the Hungarian prenatal subsidy and credit wouldn't be categorized as a form of prohibited state funding.
A €500 million program will be launched already this year for the development of Hungarian small and mid-sized companies. The objective is to increase these companies' competitiveness in ways that they need most. The Hungarian Chamber of Commerce and Industry asked more than 1,000 entrepreneurs what their biggest challenges are currently. The new SME strategy will be prepared based on their replies. It seems, however, that modernization is their biggest concern.
Lajos Nagy is showing the M1 News crew his newest investment, which helped him cut his electricity bills significantly. The businessman from Nagymánt has a butcher shop and a smaller slaughterhouse. He says that he tries to develop his company every year. According to the entrepreneur, people who don't invest into their companies and make work more effective are left behind. The Hungarian Chamber of Commerce and Industry agrees. They asked more than 1,000 entrepreneurs in recent weeks what kind of challenges they face. Digitalization, robotization, the development of IT, increasing productivity, changing business models. Generational changes are now really affecting companies that started out in the 80s, the president of the chamber said. The Ministry of Innovation and Technology is going to take the business owners' answers and use them to create a comprehensive strategy to reinforce Hungarian small and mid-sized companies until 2030. The State Secretary for Economic Strategy said that this year small companies are like to receive €523 million of funding they won't have to pay back in order to increase their productivity and competitiveness.
Létrehozunk egy vállalkozói mobil alkalmazást.
We've created an entrepreneur mobile app which will help business owners through the change in technology. Based on their trader identification numbers, we'll be able to tell which area to categorize them in, since that tells us the size of the company and the industry they're in. Afterwards, we can get to know their technology change challenges even closer through a 5-minute questionnaire. We'll use that to give them advice, the State Secretary explained. László György also said that they're working on schemes and guarantees that will help businesses apply for credit for their developments more easily and more safely. He emphasized that the objective is that there be a strong group of domestically owned businesses in Hungary, because there can be sustainable economic growth without that.
The PIK story is the best proof that Hungarian Big Capital must represent and serve Hungarian interests too, the Prime Minister said at a gala organized for the 150th anniversary of the creation of the world-famous Hungarian salami manufacturer, PIK. Viktor Orbán emphasized that Big Capital must also think along the lines of national responsibility. As he put it, it's a national interest that Hungarian companies bring a significant percentage of revenues by 2030.
It's also a national interest that well-capitalized Hungarian companies be able to step outside Hungary's borders. They should be muscular and strong, and they should use the possibilities of the region, Europe, and the rest of the world economy, so that they can drive Hungary to grow.
The Hungarian Army's new tanks arrived on Thursday. With them, Hungarian soldiers will learn to use state-of-the-art military technology. For the Day of National Defense this weekend, the Budaörs Airport is organizing an open weekend with military technology shows and new and old equipment and vehicles on display.
An effective strike force instrument with significant firepower and agile maneuvering capabilities. This is the Leopard 2, the world's most state-of-the-art battle tank. And the Hungarian Army has ordered altogether 44 of it. So far, 2 of them arrived to Hungary on Thursday, which will be used for training purposes. These instruments are very important both for our NATO commitment and for our national security. The capabilities of these vehicles in themselves already display a retaliation force, the Brigadier General said. The public can first see these new tanks this weekend on the Day of National Defense. At the event organized at the Budaörs airfield, the rest of the air and land instruments of the Hungarian armed forces will be presented. During the celebratory event on Thursday, the Minister of Defense, Tibor Benke, awarded employees who supported the Hungarian Army with their exceptional achievements. The minister added that today's troops must look onto the heroes of the past as examples to follow. Since the Hungarian conquest, when Hungarians found their home in the Carpathian Basin, Hungarians have always been considered a nation striving for independence and freedom, the minister said. On the 21st of May 1849, after 3 weeks of fierce siege, at the end of the spring battles, the Hungarian troops managed to take back the Buda Castle. Honoring that victory, 21st of May is the Day of National Defense.
The world's most well-known and also the largest porcelain manufacturer can be found in Headend. It was founded in 1826. To this day, every single piece is handcrafted uniquely. A visitor center is located right by the factory, where visitors can try making their own china pieces. They can feel what raw porcelain feels like and can even try painting on porcelain. The Hungarian National Circus is celebrating its 25th anniversary in Kecskemét as well. The Jubilee Gala show will bring viewers the company's most exciting and most spectacular show yet. African elephants, llamas, horses, camels, zebras and giraffes will all be in the show. There will even be motorcyclists flying 20 meters in the air. The Hungarian National Circus will be in Kecskemét until May 26th. That's all for today. You can catch Hungary reports after the 11 p.m. Hungarian news and online. Stick around for our other foreign language news broadcasts. Thanks for watching. Good night.